What's up, guys? Jason Garman here tonight, and tonight I want to talk about the 8 BS truths about Christmas lights. I'm excited. I know we are only a couple weeks away from hanging Christmas lights. We're literally hanging Christmas lights within just a few weeks. Some people are actually hanging Christmas lights in September, and most of you will get started in October, and some of you will get installed in November. And so I'm excited because Christmas time is so much fun. It is exciting to see. I'm excited. I've got one of my first largest classes this week coming up, and so it's going to be awesome. We got lots of people coming here to Cincinnati to learn about Christmas lights and growing a Christmas light business. And so I want to talk a little bit about the 8 no BS truths about Christmas lights is what I'm going to hit on tonight. But before we get to that point, I want to say that it's been a great week. We got some product coming in. We got product going out over here. And it's exciting to see people growing and starting and taking action. And I'm excited to see what you guys got, what you're going to do for you in this year in 2026. I believe 2026 is going to be an amazing year. I honestly do believe that 100%. If you take action, you will get you will grow. I will promise you, you will grow. It is amazing thing to see what people will do if you will just take action. I know people are already taking action. People are already closing jobs. People closing 20,000 jobs, $50,000 jobs, $2,000 jobs, and it's exciting to see for Christmas lights that is just a couple months away. Not even really a couple months, just a month away that we will be seeing people even more posting about Christmas lights. Now, I will say that if you see other people posting and this is your first year, don't get discouraged. You know, I see this all the time. These people are posting these big numbers and look how awesome I'm doing and got all of this stuff coming and they're at year 5, right? And you're at year 1 and you're like, why ain't I getting all this stuff? I promise you, they didn't get that stuff at year 1 either. So quit worrying about their chapter 13 book and you're at chapter 1, right? You got to get out of chapter 1 to be able to get to chapter 13. And that takes time to be able to get there. So quit worrying about what other people are doing. Yes, people love to post stuff of these big numbers, and that's okay for them to have those big numbers. But don't sit there and be like, why can't I get that? You know, I always tell people their first year, a lot of times you're not going to start closing jobs until November because you don't understand sales. You haven't figured out how to sell good. You haven't done these things to be able to grow your business to what you think it should be at the number that they're at year 6 and you're at year 1 and you're like, why is he closing $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 jobs every day, 10 of them a day now? Because you didn't put the $10,000 in SEO. You're not paying $5,000 in ads. You don't have 100 5-star reviews. And so that is my thing for tonight is I don't want you to get discouraged tonight for that when we're doing this. So again, that is my rant for today. And so that's what I want to hit on a little bit. But so, you know, I've got eight BS truths here that I want to hit on that a lot of times people think, oh, I can't do this or I can't do that. And I want to break down each one of these because I've heard some of them today, like literally I got a message today that is the number one where I'm at. And I know that I get criticized on this one a lot. I know it. I know there's other people out there that teach you can't get that in my area. You just don't understand this part of the country. Blah, 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 blah. But I'm not going to hit on that one first because I'm going to let that one slay till later. But I'm excited to see what you guys can do in your Christmas light business in 2026. I know people that have already started closing jobs. I know people that are taking action. And it's exciting to see how you can start growing your business and make more money in 3 months than most people make all year long. And so that is the exciting thing. You know, it's exciting to people that when I help them make $100,000 in 3 months, that's amazing. Or Wes that made $220,000 his very first year. in 3 months, or people that have hit $500,000 in Christmas lights, or people that have hit $1,000,000 in Christmas lights in not year one, right? In year 3, year 4, year 5. And that is the exciting part, to see how you can grow this Christmas light business this year to be able to make this happen. So with that, how are you all doing here tonight? So we got Derek in the house. What else have you guys got going on this week? What do you got going on this week? What are you doing to work on your business? Or what are you doing to work in your pressure washing business? Or what are you guys doing this year to work in your business, or to work, what's working, is I guess I should say, or how's your week been? Also, this week, the reason why I wasn't on Sunday night is because we were driving back from Oklahoma. Oklahoma is where my daughter went to going to college at, and so that is definitely a change of seeing my daughter go to college. And so time flies by, and so one of the things I always tell people is make sure you're spending time with your kids, because it is super important that the time flies by really fast at the end of the day. So Derek put on here, let's go Jason, here to learn. All right, I'm going to start down here at I'll just start on number 1. So let's start on the first truth that I hear a lot. You cut your prices because you're afraid that your customers won't pay it. I actually seen this in the group this week, that one of the guys was like, I would never pay that much for Christmas lights. I wouldn't either, but I have lots of customers that do. And so that's the thing, that a lot of times people are like, I would never pay that much. And you're right. I wouldn't pay that much, but your customers will. And so this is something that I got a message today, that Jason, why are you saying that you should be 8 to 12 when you know in our area that you can't get that? And he tells me the area he's in. And like, in my brain, I can start naming people off in that area that are getting the $8 to $10 a foot. So if you have a mindset, or if you have a fear that nobody in your area can get that, then you're right. And a lot of that comes from people like people and attract what they attract. So if you like cheap, you're going to attract cheap. If you like nice stuff and you like a little bit more, you're going to attract that. You're going to attract it through your sales pitch. You're going to attract it through the way you speak. You're going to use words that sound cheap. And so this is why you don't want to be around that, because you don't want to sound that way. And so I see this time a lot of people selling from their broke wallet. Quit selling from your wallet. As I've said 100 times, do you live in the $1 million house? Are you paying $10,000 mortgage payment? Are you driving the $100,000 Mercedes? The $1,200, $1,500 a month Mercedes? Oh, did I say the wife's driving a $100,000 car too? What about the $10,000 purse she just bought? How much does it cost for electric and water for that $2 million house? So quit selling out of your wallet, right? Because here's the problem with it. You go and sell a $4 a foot, $5, $6 a foot over here. What kind of a customer are you going to attract and get referred to from this $6 a foot guy? You're not going to get a referral for a $10 a foot guy because these two aren't friends. You're going to get another $6 a foot customer. And then you're going to come back to me and say, Jason, you just don't understand. You can't get this in blank area. And for instance, this one is Dallas. You can't get it in Dallas. But yet, I know people personally that are getting it. And so, if you live out in the middle of nowhere, that's a different story. And when I mean out in the middle of nowhere, I'm talking you're 2 hours from a big city. If you're an hour and a half, then yes, you might have to drive an hour and a half to get to where your customers are. You may have to drive that far, but that's okay. That's where you get those customers at. So that is one that I know I'm very passionate about, but it's one that I deal with a lot. And here's the thing. I know there's other people on here preaching that you can get $6 a foot and that's what you should charge. And most of them, and I will be right honest, go look at the ones telling you to charge that. They're selling you materials while they're telling you to be cheap. I can go point out every freaking one of the people that are telling you to charge $6 a foot, and every one of them are selling materials. Who's making money? And the answer is not you. It's not you. They are. So that is my honest opinion. Again, do I sell material? Yes. But I'm telling you to charge $8 a foot because I want you to be successful. I want you to be able to buy from me for 10 years and not 1 year because you went out of business. That's what I want you to do. I want you to be able to grow your business. I want you to be able to spend money in marketing. I want you to be able to take your kids to do whatever they want. I want you to be able to afford those things and not just work this job that you created for yourself. Because that's literally what most of you have done is created a job for yourself. Or if you're starting a business, are you going to create a job or are you going to create a thing? Number 3, this is a temptation that a lot of first time people do, or even homeowners, is go buy big box light stores. And it is, yes, you might be able to get them cheaper. Yes, you can get incandescents, but don't do it. It is not worth it. Right? And then the next question is I see this one is it's already August, Jason. Is it too late to start a Christmas light business? And the answer is absolutely no. I've literally had Jason Murphy come here on November 12th, November 8th or 12th, and do a class with me. And he ended up doing 30 some thousand his very first year. Now he does over $750,000 a year hanging Christmas lights. Just hanging good old little Christmas lights in Louisville, Kentucky. Not even a big town, Louisville, Kentucky, and making those kinds of numbers. And so that is the awesome part of it is not too late. And in fact, I would tell you if you're watching this video and it is in the end of November, go ahead and start this year. Because typically, if you start this year, next year you will have an amazing year. But if you don't wait, if you procrastinate until next year, then you will not have a great year because you're starting off on the ground. But if you get a foundation under you this year of like how things work, it works amazing for you next year. And that's the awesome thing about this. All right. The next one is you have hope that you're going to sell. And let's just talk about this for a little bit. I'm actually working on an app right now that you'll be able to put a phone script in your app or put your phone script in it, and it will literally go through and tell you what you said right, what you said wrong, what you can help you in your sales process, where did you lose your sale, what are some things you can do to make a better sale. And like that is something that a lot of times people don't understand. And so we hope we can get sales. Well, let me just be brutal honest with you. Hope doesn't get anything done. I can hope to pick up this pen on my desk. I hope this pen, I can hope that I pick up this pen. I can hope I can pick up this pen. Man, is that pen, if I hope enough, will that pen pick up? I'm still hoping on this pen. I'm waiting on that pen. Man, I've got some really good hope in this pen and I'm going to be able to pick it up. I can sit here and hope all I want. I can sit here and hope I've got good sales. I can sit here and hope I've got good systems. But as I sit here and hope, it's not picking up the pen, right? So get rid of the word hope. I can pick up the pen, but I can't hope to pick up the pen. So when you're talking about this in sales and systems, then you start doing it. And, you know, I might pick it up on the end instead of picking it up in the middle, but that's okay. I still picked it up. I might just get a little bit and it's just hanging here, but that's better than hoping to pick it up. I can hope to pick up this pen all day long until I take action, until I actually take action. I can't pick up this pen. So with sales, I can hope to be a good salesperson, or I can take action. I can record my sales calls and put it in the system that I'm building right now, and it'll tell you where you went wrong or what you did good, right? And so you can hope all day long. Hope, you can hope to pressure wash, you can hope to start a business, but at the end, hoping isn't going to get your business going, or is it not going to get it done, right? Word of mouth won't scale your business. If you want to grow and scale this business and be like, I only use word of mouth, that is only going to get you so far. And then the other thing is, do you have a script? Are you selling Christmas lights, or are you selling magic and joy and hope and all that kind of stuff? Do you have a follow-up system? Do you have a system at all? Are you just winging it and not adding the garland and the wreaths and the columns and the lights? What are you doing? Right? Those are things that you need to think about. What are you hoping that this year is going to be a great year, or is this year going to be a great year? Because again, hope gets you nowhere. Hope, you can hope all you want. I hope to pick up the pen. Hope don't pick up the pen. I hope to pick up this pen. Really need to hope to pick up this pen. I'm going to take action and pick up the pen. That's the difference of what we need to do with this. Number 7, are you reaching out to your past customers? Your past customers are a gold mine. It doesn't matter what business I'm talking about. I can be talking about pressure washing. I can be talking about Christmas lights. I could be talking about lawn care clients. I can be talking about any of those. But your customers are the best thing that you can do. Go out there and text them and message them and call them. And yes, I said you may have to call your customers. But here's what I would say, I would tell you more of it, right? Because you can hope from your past customers. I actually had a guy this past week, um, actually it was a couple weeks ago, and they were slow. They've been texting, they've been emailing, but I'm like, pick up the phone and start calling your best customers. And by the end of the day, they had booked over $16,000 by picking up the phone and calling their best customers. That's what I'm getting at, right? We can pick up the phone and call this. Have you already texted your past customers for this year? I know people that have gotten a couple $100,000 already in their bank account waiting to go because they've done that. Now, don't feel bad if this is year one and you can't do that, or if this is your year two. This guy has more years than you. That's okay. But make sure that you're reaching out to those past customers. That right there is a huge win for you. Like, that is literally money in your bank account. If you need money in your bank account, reach out to your past customers and start getting them on the schedule. Whether you do 30% or 50%, that's literally money in the bank. And if you like money in the bank, then reach out to those past customers. Call them, text them, email them, text them, email them, call them, and just ask. You have not because you asked not. That's why you haven't got no money yet. And then this question gets been asked a lot here lately. How should I pay my guys? And I still like the way of paying your guys through per foot or performance base, percentage base. So that way they make good money, you make good money still, and they're not just sitting there on the clock as an hourly wage person. If you want to do hourly, great, but it's just another way that you can do that for sure. So, with that, I see I've got some questions in here on Facebook and on here, and we will hit on those questions. But again, my biggest thing tonight I want to hit on is don't sit there and hope you're going to have a great year this year, because hope isn't going to get it done. Taking action is going to take it out. Is it going to be perfect? No, it's never going to be perfect. If you think you got to wait to take action before it's got to be perfect before you take action, it won't happen. It literally will not happen. I promise you. I promise you it will not happen if you wait for it to be perfect. It's not never going to happen to be perfect. Things happen. Things go wrong. Things don't go the way you think they do. But that's why you got to sit there and do that. So on Facebook, I missed the first 6 bullet. Is this going to be posted on YouTube? Yes. Jason, if I purchased 4,000 feet of C9 lights from competitors, used one season, how much, how can, how can we make use of it? Throw all the sockets, use bulbs and clips? I would use everything. I would use every bit of it. I'd use it all. You'd be fine with that. Oscar said, I'm launching meta ads, yard signs for door hangers. Have 10,000 feet ready to be installed. Awesome blossom. Christmas caller starts Monday. Let me know how that goes. I'd definitely like to hear how this is going for you. How long does it take to receive wreaths from Christmas Lights HQ? Typically, you should get them within 2 to 4 days is where, depending on where you are. So it might be 5. It depends on what you're wanting and how many you're wanting, of how quick I can get them for you. When's the best time to send mass text for holiday lights to 1,400 CRM customers? I'm thinking 3rd week of September. Just sent a window cleaning text today. I had 50 signups. Yeah, I would probably wait a little bit if you just send them because you don't want to over bombard them. But maybe the 1st of September would be good. Perfection is the enemy. Perfection is the devil. That was Paul Gardner said, perfection is the enemy. And it is. You know, I see so many times people waiting and trying to be perfect before they do anything. And it just doesn't work that way. I mean, are you going to get it right the first time? And the answer is no, it's not. And you're never going to be perfect because what you think is perfect today, you're going to think it sucks in a year or two. So just go out there and be imperfect, and get stuff done. It's amazing what can happen. You know, I always like the people of like you jump out of the airplane and figure out how to put the parachute on the way down. And that's how most of us business owners do it. And it's exciting. Sometimes we fall all the way to the ground. Sometimes we only fall a little bit. We figure it out really quickly. So that's where, just go take action. I mean, I've harped on it long enough of taking action. And again, you're going to see people posting. You're going to see people posting these big numbers. I've already seen it. I'm friends with all these people just like you all are seeing it too. I've seen, look at my big numbers that I'm getting to close. Yeah, and how long you been in business? How much money have you spent to be able to get to that point? They're on level 15, you're on level 1. You don't hope to get to level 15. You got to start taking action. You got to start doing SEO. You got to start building your website. You got to start building your Google ads. You got to start building your Facebook ads. You got to start building your Facebook. You got to start working your network. You start going to the networking groups. You start going to all the networking groups. You start building relationships. You start doing LinkedIn. You start building your network on LinkedIn. And guess what? In 5 years, you'll be at the same level or past them. If you take action and don't sit there and complain of what you can and can't do. Because I will tell you, first off, the people that are posting these big numbers are the same people that spent $5, $20, $30,000 in marketing over the last 3 to 5 years. So yes, they're going to have way more money at the end of it. Yes, they're going to be having these $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 jobs, $10,000 jobs, $20,000, $50,000 jobs, $100,000 jobs. So don't get discouraged that you're not there when you see these other numbers. I don't really like when I see those numbers because I see people being like, someday I'm going to get there. And I believe some of you, but some of you, you don't believe that someday you're going to get there. And if you don't believe that someday you're going to get there, then why are you saying it out loud? Because otherwise it's kind of like hope. It's just words that don't mean nothing. Do you got it written down that someday you're going to do that much numbers? Do you have it? You got a picture of you doing those numbers? Or do you just see those numbers and you're like, oh, well, someday I want to do those numbers? It don't work that way. I promise you it doesn't work that way. What other questions you guys got? I'm doing a lot of the talk. I do all the talking every Sunday or Wednesday, but what questions you all got? I want to know how I can help you grow your business. Only way I can help you grow your business is if you put a question in there. Otherwise, do you want to grow your business? Or are you just lurking around and too afraid to ask a question because you're afraid someone's going to say it's a stupid question? There is no stupid question. The only stupid question is the question you don't know. I ask stupid questions all the time. That's how you get smarter, is by asking stupid questions. So what's your question? So I'm excited. We got a big class coming this weekend. If you want, there's still a couple spots open. If you want to join us or the next one coming up, you can go to christmaslights.io/IPT in-person training. I've got 2 more in September, 1 in October. This month is going to be a good, all of them are going to be good. It's all my August and September, are always great classes. Well, I think we're close to 14, 15 people this weekend. So it'll be a great class. And it's exciting to see people here learning how to do this. Do you know who does the arc lights? They do, I believe. I'm pretty sure they do all that in-house. Um, you could ask Nathan, but I'm like 90% sure they do all that in-house for the arc. If you've never been to the arc, it's down in Williamstown, Kentucky. It is a big arc, is what it is. That's why they call it the arc. Also, if you need lights, I have lights. I have Christmas lights, 20% off right now. 20% off to the end of August. So if you need lights, you get 20% off. It automatically comes in at the end. You don't have to go through and put a special code or forget the code. You can do it. It's at christmaslightshq.com. 20% off. We have the packages, so it makes it easy for you. I'll be changing some of them up, but that is awesome. I did do Kings Island. Kings Island actually does have all their lights done by an individual installers. And we did quote it. I did not get that bid. It was a big bid. I think it was ended up being like $250,000, but the person that got it was like $100,000. And it was like, okay, you're going to be there a long time and not make no money because you can't make money at doing other places. So I did bid Kings Island, but it was a big job because our biggest concern is how to get the labor. So we actually looked at like different labor agencies to see like what would be the best way that we could do it for the labor side. But yes, we did bid on Kings Island. Kings Island is a big theme park here in north side of Cincinnati, and so it is definitely something we bid on. I can say we bid on a big job. It took us forever to get that quote up. It did not take. It was forever to figure out because it had so many different trees and these sizes of trees and this sizes of trees and all that stuff. All their stuff is stapled on, I think. Yes, and that was us just doing the tree side of things. That was not us doing the actual buildings and stuff. We were only doing the trees. And yes, they staple the crap out of that stuff. They staple it everywhere. So they got issues through the years of water getting into it or stapling into the wire and all that good stuff. So definitely something that it is important. Opinion on minis, plugs, or coaxial. I would do just regular plugs. Coaxial's a pain in the butt for what you get. Because you got to have all of the extension cables, you got to have all the rectifiers, and then you got to have the T's. So it is not worth the side of the coaxial unless you're in a super wet Florida on the beach area. Maybe then is when I would look at coaxial. Other than that, it's just a pain to try to fit there and make sure all the stuff is not it's just more of a pain than it's worth. There's so many, you got to have all the T's and all that stuff to make it look good. If we want to hit 500,000, how much would we spend in marketing roughly? Well, my first question is to you, Fred, where are you at now? So are you at how much did you do this year? Because that's going to make a difference a little bit. But typically, if you want to do 500,000, you would need to spend anywhere from probably $50,000 to $60,000 in marketing. Is where you would be at. If doing Sunwarm White C9, should we use Sunwarm White or Warm White Minis? If you're using Sunwarm White, you want on the C9s, you want to use Sunwarm White on the Minis. Same way, if you're using Warm White, you want to use Warm White on the Minis because there is a difference and you can tell a difference. So on my barn here, I bought one of the cheap wreaths and I put it up on the barn there, and it is definitely noticeable. Like it is day and night noticeable. Sunwarm White versus Warm White. So most people use warm white in everything. So it's a little bit more brighter, and a lot of people use the warm white. And so that's kind of where I would say I would be at with it. About to drop a few thousand door hangers for permanent and landscape lighting. Good. Are you going to post those to one time, or are you going to keep sending out to that same area of those few thousands? Because if you're only going to put out a few thousand one time, you're not going to have as good of a return as if you post them 2 or 3 times. So that's a better way to get a higher return on your drop of door hangers. It's kind of like every door direct mail, EDDM. If you only send out EDDM once and you send it out to 10,000 people, it's probably not going to be a great ROI. But if you send out 3,000 3 times, then you will get more business off of those 3,000 people than you will the 10,000 people. So that's kind of where you want to be at. For trying to get into commercial, what is the best and worst target customer? HOAs, restaurant, hotels, shopping centers. Your best customers are probably going to be hotels and shopping centers and restaurants, and your worst one will be HOAs. But with that said, HOAs are definitely a great business to get into, and I know that it does work very well, and so I definitely like the commercial side of things. I like doing HOAs. One of the first HOAs we had was like $15,000, and we were wrapping trees. And by God, I learned how to wrap trees really good. Because my first 2 years I wrapped the trees, and then my third year I didn't have to wrap the trees. So tree wrapping is some way that you get good at it is you do a bunch of them. So that is something that I did a bunch of trees and tree wrapping. That dock I sent you got some heads turning. I bet it did. It looks awesome. That dock looked really great. You did a great job on that dock. It looked awesome, awesome, awesome. What's up, Midwest Window Washer? How are you doing today? How are you doing tonight, I should say. Um, it is coming. All right. I'm excited. We're going to have people in this room this weekend. We're going to get to go eat dinner. We're going to have stories to tell. I get to see my buddy from Dallas again. And it's going to be awesome. There's going to be some really cool people here this weekend. I'm excited. And people wanting to learn how to do Christmas lights and marketing and sales and how to close jobs. It's going to be great. I love it. It's one of my most exciting things is to help people grow their business. And the thing that I always love about this is there's so many people that, it's going to be great. Are you going to be at the Huge? I am not going to be at the Huge this year. I had a lot going on this week. I went to Oklahoma last week. Last weekend, dropped my daughter off. The weekend before that, the 3 weekends before that, we were on vacation. This weekend, we have class. Then I have that. The Huge is next weekend, and there's just no way I'm going to be able to make everything. Also, my warehouse guy is going to be out of town on vacation, so I need to make sure stuff is getting shipped out. So I am not going to make it to there. Give me a call soon. I like to share with you the late chapter in our story, our latest chapter in our story. I'd love to hear that. I want to, let's see. I want to show you guys something. So Nick Sick just posted that right there. I don't know if you can see it or not. I want to show you something. So Nick Sick started his pressure washing business 2019, I think it was. And he joined the membership. He was there every Saturday night or Monday night and growing his business out of Illinois. And then he started putting out yard signs and stuff. And then he got hit. He was on his motorcycle and a car hit him on his motorcycle and broke his legs and all kinds of stuff. And he's a full-time fireman and all that cool stuff. But over here on my workbench, since we moved, since I've got the shop, I've been able to put it up. I got it up on the shelf of Nick sent me his first ever dollar that he ever made. His first dollar. And I still have it framed up over there. And I was actually looking at it the other day. 7 years ago, Nick said. And so that is, you know, being able to take action and grow a business. And he was one that didn't always listen. He's like a fireman that has a hard head and don't always listen. Like, hey, Nick, you should get you a CRM. Ah, no, dude. I've got 15 of these things that got all these names and addresses in. I don't need no CRM. What are you talking about, Diamond? I don't need no CRM. I think he finally got one a year or two ago. But, right. But it's awesome to see how much he's grown, and it's awesome to see people taking action. Hoping to make September class. Is there anyone coming from your group this year to your class? Coming from your group this year to your class. What do you mean a group? Are you talking about the Monday night group or the mentorship group or what group? I have lots of groups. I'm a groupie guy. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Are my remaining boxes still getting shipped this week? Yes. Actually, probably going to be Monday. But the rest of it is supposed to be in here on Friday, and so I'll ship it back out Monday. So I will have it shipped out to you on Monday, and it will all be shipped out Monday for you. Because Friday, it might be shipped out before that, but the shipment crew won't be here till Monday. So that's where I'm at with it. It was supposed to be here today, and then it was supposed to be here tomorrow, and now it's here on Friday. I love shipping places. For EDDM, if sending 3 to 4 times, how to pre-qualify potential leads, targeting. Any thoughts on some of these? AI pictures of their houses with lights on EDDM. For EDDM, if sending 3 to 4 times, how do you pre-qualify potential leads and targeting? So the biggest thing I would say on this here is I would look at your past customers and see where they are, and then I'm going to hit in those areas because I already know that they're buying in those areas. But I would also say that with that same question, there is some stuff out there. There is some softwares out there now that you can actually hit everybody's house and put it on there, which is a cool thing that you could do. I would say that another way is not to do EDDM, but you can ship to everybody's house that is between $500 and $1 million, right? And you can get a list of those houses, and then you just ship to those houses. So that costs a little bit more, but that's a little bit more target than just sending it out to everybody. So that's where I would look at. I would also look at the EDDM tool and see like where income base is. But being that you're in Dallas and you did last year, you kind of start knowing your honey holes are. And so that's where I would just say, go out there and, see where your honey holes are and then hit those honey holes. Thinking of doing my house in C9 for Halloween green and purple bulbs and filming it. Worthwhile, you think? Absolutely. It's always worthwhile. Monday night group. You groupie. Let's see. Is anybody here from Monday night group? I can't remember. I don't think so. Maybe. I don't know. Out shooting Christmas content outside as we speak. Nighttime shoot and the lights. Justice Baker. If you did not watch his video yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I posted it in the Christmas light group. Go watch his video. It is hilarious. His brother-in-law, he's sitting in a chair in the middle of the yard, and his brother-in-law's on the side over here, and his brother-in-law takes off and just runs right into Justice, and they both. I mean, he laid Justice out. It was funny. So if you have not seen Justice Baker's latest video shoot, you will get a laugh. And I think you don't even need to talk about Christmas lights. Just have videos like that, and you'll probably do a lot better in it. But that is awesome of him shooting this week of Christmas lights. I know they're shooting enough video, I think, to get to the end of this season. So they're shooting all their videos and films and doing everything. And so that's the awesome thing. Justice Baker literally came to my class, what was that, 3-4 years ago, and started his Christmas light business. He was broke. He came to a November class. It was like November 1st, November 2nd, and he's at this year. His goal is to do $750,000 in Christmas lights. And he's not even a big town. It ain't like he's in some huge high end area. And so it's awesome to see Justice go take action, because when you take action, it's amazing what happens. And again, Justice is a young kid. He's he's not even 30 yet. And he'll be a millionaire by the time he is 30. And if you would have told that to Justice 3, 4, 5 years ago, he would have laughed in your face, literally laughed in your face, because he was just a young kid and, excited and to be able to do this. But now he's being able to support his family. He's being able to take care of his kids. He's being able to take care of his other family members. And it's neat to see Justice Baker out here shooting content for Christmas lights in August, right? Never too early to hang up Christmas lights. Never too early to start shooting content. And he pays somebody to shoot the content for him, but that's what you do, right? You make it professional. He shoots it, gets it done. And now he'll have Facebook ads, he'll have blog information, he'll have all kinds of stuff that he can use to be able to grow his business even more. And that's not the only thing he's going to do. He's going to put out a crap load of signs and Facebook ads and Google ads, and he's going to spend money to be able to go from 400,000 to 750,000. So, I see people all the time, well, I want to do this. Back to hope, right? We were talking about hope. I want to hope. Justice could hope to get to 750,000. But Justice isn't hoping, he's taking action. He's getting his video shot. He's already got his Facebook ads ready to go. He's already getting his Google ads ready to go. He's already doing SEO. He's doing the things that's going to help him be able to get to that $750,000 mark. And so he can hope all you want. Anybody can hope whatever you want. But who's willing to take action? Justice has been to 2 of my classes. He came 1 year and then came the next year because that's what he wants, right? And I've talked to Justice a bunch here this year because I want Justice to be successful. I want him to be able to come back and say, hey, we didn't hit only 750,000, we hit 800,000. One of the things Justin last year said, I'm going to get off the truck. He didn't get off the truck. This year, he's going to get off the truck, and he'll do way more, because when you're off the truck, you're able to grow a lot more than when you're on the truck. So what other questions? Anybody else got any questions? I do have a few open spots left for this weekend. If you want to come to hang out with some Christmas lights training, we'll be right here, christmaslights.io/IPT for in-person training. I have a bunch of equipment. If you need Christmas lights, christmaslightshq.com. And I will get everything that I have shipped out to you as soon as it comes in, or I have it. I have most of it now. I'm excited that you're going to see a new bulb on there, the King Pro SMD bulb. It is a great bulb, 5-year warranty, amazing bulb, very bright, awesome. You will definitely want to make sure you get those bulbs. I'm excited for it. It's amazing. It's going to be awesome. The King Pro SMD bulb. The SMD bulb is amazing bulb. So it is going to be awesome. So again, this weekend, I'm going to have a bunch of people in here, bunch of learning. We got the hands-on, right? You get to use the pitch hopper and the goat and the Ridge Pro, and you get to put lights on the gutters over here. We got trees to put, we got the big tree here to put lights on. We got trees outside to put lights on. We got poles to put lights on. I got a kind of a crappy looking palm tree over here, but hey, it works. So that way my people in the South or out West can know how to do palm trees, because we ain't got no palm trees here in Kentucky. So we're going to do everything. It's going to be great. Tyler Cantrell, tempting. Come on, Tyler. You've been here once. I guarantee you'll learn something again this time. Tyler came last year. He was one of the only ones I've given away free, and he showed up. Last year I gave away 3 to the Dallas class, and 1 person showed up, and that was Tyler. And that's a taken action. And he did very well last year, and he's going to do very well this year. I'm going to just speak it into existence. He's going to do awesome this year. And so that's an amazing thing that Tyler being able to take action and grow his business. And so with that, I want you all to have an amazing week this week. I'm going to answer this question because it just came in. I'm marketing 3 services at one time, and it feels like it's holding me back, trying to decide if I should do DBA Christmas lights, maybe just abbreviate architectural and to AA lights. Yeah, I would agree with that. What you focus on grows, and when you try to do too much, it kind of gets confusing. So that is definitely something that I would agree on. I got to be careful with this myself, right? I sell lights and training. I'm also doing websites right now. I'm doing SEO for a couple guys. And so my time is getting split. I'm trying to get products shipped out, trying to get websites done, trying to do this, trying to talk about training, trying to talk about doing lights. And so I agree with you. You got to be careful with it. So that's why tonight, all you heard about was in-person training and lights. I didn't talk about anything else because it just gets way too much. Now, if I'm talking about websites one night, then sure, I'll talk about it. But I'm not talking about websites, right? I'm talking about something of helping you guys grow and taking action and not hoping, and because hoping don't get nothing done. So I feel like for me to help you guys to be able to grow, that's what I feel like a lot of people needed to hear. And a lot of times I feel that because I'm getting questions in the groups and I'm seeing things in the groups and I'm getting questions to myself. And that's where I feel like it is definitely something that I help people. Is a Ridge Pro worth it if you have to move it constantly, if not anchored? It's up to what you want. I know some people use it all the time, and I know some people that don't use it at all. They just have a nice piece of equipment on the truck. Really depends on your comfortability, depends on, because typically you're not anchoring it, so it's still not technically an OSHA approved anchor. It can help you to stay to fall off of the roof, but so could the goat. I know some people that tie a rope into the goat. Technically, it's not OSHA approved, but it is something that people have done to make that work it that way too. So I know a bunch of people in New York, when it starts snowing, they use the handle or they'll take a piece of webbing around the pole and do it that way. So it's not the best out there, but it has saved people's life because they've slipped and fallen and it's caught them in their harness. But it is not best at the end of the day for that. So just my opinion on it. Again, it does work, but I do know a lot of people that buy it and it just sits in the truck or sits in their garage. And so that's kind of where you are with that. Just giving you an honest opinion. I can give you the right answer and make sure you anchor it and all that kind of stuff, but I know not everybody's going to do that. I know probably very few people are going to do that. But that is the right answer, right? So just a thought. But other than that, go take action this week. Start calling your HOAs, start calling dealerships, start calling 5 to 10 people every day. And you'll start getting commercial work by calling 5 to 10 people a day. Start posting on Facebook. Start building your audience so when you're ready to get Christmas lights, it'll start growing and growing and growing. Don't hope you're going to grow a Christmas light business. Take action. Is it going to be perfect? Absolutely not. But go take action and things happen, and it's like magic. Start selling it. Start selling the magic. It's amazing. Other than that, go be great and keep being great. We'll see you all later.